What are we doing? We should do a show. We should do a show.
Oh, you need to put the hyphen in there, guys. Please do. Seriously. Please.
Ben, showtime. Stop focusing on it.
Okay.
They're just gonna keep doing it.
Okay.
Now that they know that's your weak point, you might as well have a big red flashing icon. Oh god. Look what you did. You did this, Ben. What we're seeing in the chat room is your fault. Oh jeez.
You brought it up.
Look at that.
Oh my god, Wicked, you're actually modding it. Oh my god.
Wow. That's fantastic, actually. Okay.
Okay, we should probably start the show.
We should do the show. Yeah, this is technically the opening of the show for YouTube. Hi, YouTube. This is the chaos that I usually don't put in the show, and here it is right now for you. Let's go.
All right, cool. So because I have to totally confirm, otherwise you freak out sometimes. John, are you ready for the show to start? I can see your head move. I know you're there.
I'm sorry, what?
Are you ready for the show to start?
Yeah, that's what I was sitting there for.
Like I said, I was double checking. And Leeta, are you ready for the show to start?
I'm ready. I'm good.
Cool. Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 334. My name is Ben Bumhofer. It is Friday night. I'm excited to be here. And with me, as always, hopefully also full of excitement, is John Jagger. How's it going, John?
Hello, Ben. Man, I am happy to be here. Right now, what I am trying to convey to you is that sometimes high energy doesn't also mean high volume, except I kind of messed it up at the beginning and I still yelled anyway. So I'm going to give you a pass today.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll try. Do you want me to do it over? Do you want me to just be all
let's try it again. Let's bring high energy.
Okay.
Without the volume.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 334. Woo! My name is Ben Bumhofer. With me, as always, is I should do it without the woo, shouldn't I?
Yeah, the woo peaked.
Okay. Let's do it one more time.
Okay.
Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 334. My name is Ben Bumhofer. With me this week, as always, is my very best friend, John Jagger. How's it going, John?
Hello, Ben. Man, I am excited to be here with you at the round table. It is Friday night. We are in Azeroth. We're about to talk some World of Warcraft. You're still loud. But we're not alone in this. We have brought all the way from the other side of Azeroth, Leeta. Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. That was hilarious. Sorry, am I too loud? Hey, guys. How's that?
We're not going to have to ASMR this whole thing, are we?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll get so many... Look, if there's one thing I've learned about Twitch, if you ASMR, the numbers go up.
Up.
I really enjoy doing this show with you guys.
And
Leeta,
Ben,
thank you
that's
so much
not
for
the
joining
only
us.
thing that goes up.
Elevators do too. Levels do.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If you're on a flying mount, you
typically
do.
that goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of things in World of Warcraft.
Cupcakes,
go
when you're
up.
baking, go up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except when you fail, and they don't.
Yep.
And they go
Soufflés.
down.
Yep.
Yep.
Souffle. That's up.
Escalators.
That movie Up
Yeah.
went up.
Mm-hmm.
It also goes down a little bit too sometimes.
Sometimes it goes down. That's true. But only with
Yeah.
the hope that one day it will go up again.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Leeta, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Oh,
And
thanks, guys.
I'd like to start off by saying I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you so much for the invitation. It feels like I only spoke to you guys like yesterday, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
feels like way longer than that. So it's really cool because the last time I got to speak to you was in person.
It was.
So that was nearly 10 months ago. I think
It-
10? 9 months ago?
Yeah, holy crap. It doesn't feel like that at all.
I know.
Wow.
BlizzCon is upon us.
It is. And
It's
I'm
getting closer.
still sad I'm not going this year.
The eye of BlizzCon has fallen upon you.
Oh, that's cool. I'm okay with that.
But
Yeah.
you're not gonna go, you're not gonna answer that call. You're staying You're not gonna walk into Mordor, is what you're saying.
That, that's not part of BlizzCon, but I mean, no. I mean, one just doesn't leave BlizzCon and go to Mordor. I mean, are we crossing that now?
Yep. We've gotten very confused.
Also, you're a wizard, Johnny.
Oh wow! Make it so. My camera
Anyways,
is
World of
still
Warcraft.
not where I want it.
Oh man. Okay. So, Kim, or Leeta, I'm sorry. I know you by like two names, and I call you both. So,
That's our topic today.
It's-
What's it
it's
like
so
to be a
good.
person who's bad with names in a world where everybody has 3 of them?
yeah, and they're all saved in Classic right now too.
Oh, 4. Shit. We just made it way more complicated. Well, my name's John, but typically my online persona is Revendon. Also, I've got a character that's Eos, but I couldn't get the name on Classic, so you can call me Valamanama on Peggle.
How do you spell that?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I just kept adding letters till it said I could take the name, Ben.
How come you couldn't get Eos? Really? Someone took it.
No, I don't know. Someone probably has now. I didn't
Wow.
try.
Oh, okay.
You gotta actually log into Classic to try to get the name, as it turns out.
Yeah, if you want that name, it's spelled Aeos.
That's actually... Wait, why am I getting upset? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know. You don't care.
It's just now I feel like there's gonna be someone running around being like, look at me! Woohoo! I got damage!
I'm John.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I actually did try to get a name. That name was Ben. I
Why?
didn't get it because I'm like, why not? I
Really?
just- yeah.
You wanted to be Ben?
Well, I figured I'm like, why not? It'll be interesting if that actually happens. And either someone got it, or because it's a proper name, they didn't allow it. So,
Oh.
I even
Okay.
tried Benjamin too, just because I'm like, why not? But
It's not like you
Wow.
don't get to keep your real life name anymore if you don't get it in Classic, right?
wait, what?
Well, guys, I didn't get my name in Classic, so from now on, I guess my new name is Naj.
Could you spell it like Ben with 2 N's?
Oh yeah, but then it's not me.
Then he's
It's
just a
not
clone.
Ben anymore.
It's
Yeah.
just like your Ben.
See, I
Hey,
feel that you have to
Ben.
pronounce all the letters, so it's Ben.
He wasn't Ben to begin with. Why did he want this name? This is the problem. Like, most people are like, I want my character name. Ben's like, I need my real name. I'm gonna play a fantasy game where I play, get this, Ben.
Yes, and you know what? I'm also going to be working for the company that I work with. It's like that episode of The Office where Dwight makes Second Life, and he's a paper salesman in Second Life as well because he just loves his life so much. That's what I'm going to do.
That's what your goal is.
Nice.
Here's what doesn't make sense to me about this, Ben, is that if you told me that this is what you went for in actual current World of Warcraft, it would maybe be believable. You get to be a panda, which you seem to be very addicted to the idea of.
Yeah,
You'd be
pandas are
running
great.
around collecting creatures and small animals, and you'd be surrounded by pets all the time, and you'd just be happy as a little clam. I'd be like, oh, that does sound like a world Ben would want to be a part of. But instead, you're like, nope, this is the version of the world that is the least like me. This is the world where I want to finally play Ben.
Well, no, it's more like this is the world where names haven't been taken yet. I'm going to see if I can just get this name on a whim.
Wait, hang on. If you can't be Panda, what did you roll?
I haven't really rolled anything, honestly. I tried to
Oh,
get Ben just
okay.
because, and I'm like, oh, it's not there. Okay, cool. Hey, Nevermore, what 3 names do you want me to hold for you?
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, so I've got 3 names that are not mine being held. Because I mean, my first character was a blood elf mage, so it's like, well, that's not gonna happen. So anyone that I make, it's gonna be brand new anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Why did you want Ben? I still can't get past this.
Just because 3-letter names in WoW are incredibly rare. So I thought, hey, if there is ever going to be a chance that this happens, just because it's a three letter name, I'm just going to grab it. I would probably never actually level it. I just wanted to have the name. I thought it'd be kind of
I
cool.
get a call. John, come over. I need to show you something. What? You come over. You've just got WoW Classic pulled up. Look, Ben.
No, I take a screenshot and I send it out.
Okay.
You could get
yeah.
the mage. Why don't you get the mage?
Because
And then you could be like, well, when you meet people, just be like, call me Ben. And they'll
I
be
could
like,
do that.
but you're the mage. And you go, that's right, because I'm Ben the mage.
That would actually be really fun.
He's raiding, and people would be like, Ben Tamagi? I need you to get out of the fire, please. Ben Tamagi.
Oh my gosh. I kind of want to have a character named Ben Tamagi now. That's pretty cool.
Go make it quick.
I can. I've got
Ben
the three.
Tamagi.
The 3 spots are saved for Nevermore, so no Ben Tamagi for me.
There's more opening up
Yes.
on the 26th at 10 a.m., isn't it?
Oh, gotta get Ben on
Yeah.
there. We're just gonna be
Yeah.
awoken to somebody in the apartment complex yelling, Jesus, somebody else got Ben! Guy could do anything with my name attached to it.
That's right. But speaking of names, though, Leeta, did you actually go in and pick anything? Like, are you excited for Classic coming?
Yeah, actually I am. I got Leeta on Pagel.
Cool.
So that was good. And because we'll be running a WoW Challengers Guild as well, I've got Leeta on Blood Sale as well. So we'll be running a WoW Challengers Guild over there as well. So, and then I got another Leeta because I obviously can't have enough. So
Well, I
I've
mean,
gone.
I understand. If it's your name, you would really want to have it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've gone. Just for the moment, I've gone Horde for Pagel,
Mm-hmm.
which that's fine because Undead Warlock. What can I say? What else am I gonna be?
It's like you have some experience with that.
Just a little, just a tad. And then on Blood Sale, I've gone because I'll need to run a Horde guild, and we're running an Alliance guild for the challenges. So I've gone, surprise, surprise, an Undead Warlock for Horde and a Human
What?
Warlock for Alliance side. So
Cool.
yeah,
So you got it all
Yes.
prepped up and ready to go.
yep, I have. So yeah, we're kind of excited. It's there's a lot to be done. So yeah, I can't believe it's nearly here. Like it's nearly here, which is amazing. So we'll see how it plays out. I guess when is that Wednesday for me? Hang on, where am
I
I?
think it's Tuesday.
Wednesday,
for
Thursday.
you? Because it's Monday
Whichever.
for us.
Okay, maybe it's Tuesday. Yeah. Time zones. Look,
I
I
know.
still can't get time zones out of my head. So yeah, Tuesday, whichever. It's all good. So I'm ready, kind of. But the funniest thing, I don't know if you saw the tweet, but I did a massive tidy of my room. I had to move some stuff around a couple of days ago, and I've put all my Warcraft stuff, my collector's editions, my books, and everything that I've got in one particular place. While I'm going through all of that, I find folders, about 8-10 folders of printouts of all sorts of stuff. And it's all stuff I printed off 15 years ago when I started playing. Some probably, maybe 14. Some of the stuff was when Burning Crusade came out. But I've got like Elves angling stuff that's printed
Wow.
because I loved. Oh, that was my go-to website. Like there was, if it wasn't Thoughtbot, it was Elves angling. They were where I lived. Oh, and pets. Not sure if Warcraft Pets was up then or not, but that's that was my big thing.
Yeah.
I love to fish, so anything I would read everything. and I found folders of all these printouts because, like 15 years ago, you didn't think, oh, well, okay, it's not that you couldn't think it, but I couldn't run an open web page while I played the game. It just wasn't going to happen. Not here. Like, I was probably playing on either a little laptop or a little PC that had maybe, I'm gonna say, maybe about 64. I don't know. It didn't have a lot. So to run the game and then to run, I think we had I'm gonna say TeamSpeak. TeamSpeak came first, and then I think we went to Ventrilo. Um it just, so it's just all these memories came back, and I was like, oh my god, I've still got stuff. Yay for being a hoarder, because I do. Like, there's stuff I just sometimes I have to be really brutal and be like, yeah, I really need to get rid of this stuff. But my Warcraft stuff, I haven't. So I've got like these folders of printout stuff of probably things I will never see again, especially the elves angling stuff, which there is no website. That's gone. So guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be going through all this stuff, and I'm going to be looking at it, and as I'm playing Classic, I'll sit there and, go through and check it all out. But I know what's going to happen. I'm going to log in, and once I've got enough, I'm going to go fishing, because that's what I did. Fishing. There'll be lots of fishing. I can see that now. I made a lot of money back in vanilla because I managed to get the savory deviant delight recipe to drop, which back then was really, really hard. It was rare as, and if you got another one to drop, you could sell it for like thousands of gold, which was huge back then. But if you got and learnt the recipe, you'd go fishing for the deviant fish, and then you'd make your savory deviant delight fish and sell them and make lots of money. Lots of money. So
I mean, it was basically what that and Noggenfogger were really the only things that transformed you back then, weren't they?
And the little bead thing from the guys up north, the rep thing.
Oh, really? I didn't know that they did that. I never really.
That's right. Yeah. So, so it's really exciting. It's kind of, I have to keep remembering. I don't know if you guys are thinking about this or anyone in the chat room, but I have to keep remembering vanilla's vanilla. Classic's gonna be, there will be so many similarities, I'm sure, but I've got to not look at it as if, hey, it's vanilla. I've got to look at it as, no, this is classic. It is a different game, but there's going to be similarities. So I don't know. Do you guys is that how you're approaching it, or how are you looking at it?
I'm looking at it. It's really hard to break that because, I mean, just the player base going in with the knowledge of how to play is going to be, very different and everything. Like, I just thought, well, if I play, you know what? I'm just going to make a gatherer, just herbs and mining. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to make my fortune that way. I'm like, oh, that's what everyone else is going to be doing because that's what you do. Crap. Okay, maybe not. But, it's so much vanilla that it's like, in my mind, classic is essentially vanilla with sprinkles. So it's got, little bits here and there that are, kind of, not exactly, at least I'm assuming, the exact way that it was way back when, since, again, I came in near the end of Burning Crusade, so I don't know. I mean, I had the playing experience, but there were some improvements and stuff that happened between, like, the end of Vanilla through Burning Crusade to when I first started. So, there's little bits here and there. But, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where because of, so much of the challenge and stuff that's back in there, I don't know if that's the kind of game that I want anymore. So, like, I know I'm going to dip my toes in with, my awesome new mage called the Mage. But other than that, though, I still don't know, like, if it's really going to take me or not. Is nostalgia going to be enough to really push through? Am I going to be as super interested to really see how the economy and everything plays out. It's like a horrible analogy here, but I'm going for it anyway. Like, okay, so the game Eve Online, it is interesting as heck when
Mm.
I hear stories about like all this, this player generated stuff, this espionage and these huge battles that happen and everything like that. But it's a game I'm never really going to play. I don't know if Classic's going to be, because I'm just very interested in seeing the growth and development of a brand new kind of MMO that it's had its chance already and grown into something huge. But with Classic, is it going to actually mirror how vanilla worked and ran, and how people were um, going through like getting gold, getting gear, like raiding, everything like that? Or is it going to be something that is just so completely different this go around that everybody's going to be just like their minds are going to be blown as to how people are playing it?
Hmm. I wonder if it might drive people back to retail. That could be interesting.
I mean, there's that, because there's so many people who are saying, yeah, retail. I'm going to Classic. Some people, I just want
Mm.
to stay with retail, which I'm still in the boat of. It should be WoW Classic and WoW Now,
Mm.
but that's just where I'm going. Yeah, don't shake your head at me, John.
Wow, now that sounds like a
Yes, I
music
know.
compilation
Shazam.
CD. It's bad.
Actually, I kind of like that as a music compilation CD. Yeah, all your favorite hits from WoW
Wow,
now,
now.
but kids are singing for some reason. Oh no, wait, that's Kids Bop. That's
Hmm.
something different.
Yeah.
But I don't know, John. Like you've lived through the whole experience. Leeta, you've lived through the whole experience. Like, what kind of things are you thinking are going to be similar and like diverging in just the growth of the game itself? Or have you not thought about it at all? Because I know, John, you don't really care too much about Classic.
Well, I mean, the thing is it's funny because I feel like I got my answer this past week on whether or not I was going to play Classic. Because,
Hmm.
I'm excited. There's excitement in the WoW community, which,
Mhm.
you know, based on how this expansion has been received so far, it's nice to see excitement and positivity and people being, really thrilled in the WoW community in general. And so I got very kind of caught up in the excitement, right? And it's like, yeah, we're excited. We're into this. We're into it. We're doing it. And then every time I stopped to think about what we were excited about, I was like, I don't know. Like, for me, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to be one of those people out there going, you shouldn't get it. You don't like it. Like, that's not going to be me, but I was just like, I was just kind of caught up in how everybody was feeling. And I was like, maybe
Mhm.
I will try it. Maybe I'll get into it. I don't know. Maybe I will. And then I want to say a couple days ago, or something like that, I think it was Taryn Gregory posted a picture of Thousand Needles, old Thousand Needles, without the
Mhm.
water in
Hmm.
it. And it was this real, because we've been seeing a lot of that. We've been seeing a lot of the nostalgia being shared from those old days. And I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to be a jerk about this. He posted that picture, and I know a lot of people were going, oh man, remember when it was like this? And oh, so many memories about that zone. I saw that picture and I went, ugh, look at that draw distance. And that was my honest to God reaction to it. And that was it. I just went, ugh, look at the draw distance on that. And then I moved on with my looking at Twitter. And when I thought about it after the fact, I was like, oh, I think this kind of sums up where my thought is. I'm not nostalgic for WoW Classic, for WoW Vanilla. I have a ton of
Hmm.
great memories there. I will treasure them always. I will bring them up frequently on the show. If I ever told you about Terran Mill and Hillsbred, uh, I'll tell you about it again.
Wait, what?
Like it's this amazing experience, and it's this amazing thing. I just don't know if I'm in a place where I want to play it again. And that might
Mhm.
change one day. And the cool thing is that $15 a month that I give allows me to take that plunge whenever I feel like it. But right now, I'm apparently more concerned about the draw distance in old version of WoW than I am actually interested in the nostalgia trip.
Okay. Well, what if I were to tell you that on your PC right now that you can do Ultramax settings and that draw distance would be a little bit further?
I don't care. like it's not about like, oh, but the draw distance could be good if you went and play. Like, I don't care. Like, you could even say, and I don't think they're doing this, right? Like, you could even say, oh, you can play WoW Classic with the new models. Like, I don't
No, you can't.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't want it. Like, I've done it. I have a tendency to do it every time I make a new tune, which is pretty frequent. And I know it's different, but not really for me. Like, I still remember exactly what that was like. Maybe not 100%, but I remember well enough. So nostalgia hasn't hit for me yet. I'm waiting for it to, and you know what? They're doing what they should with WoW Classic. It's one sub, and you get both. And I think that's great, and I think that's nice and fair to all the players that are maybe there for one thing, the players that are there for both things, and the players are there, just wanting to go back to classic. I think that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with you on that. It's funny because there's so many people. Well, I don't know. I'm just generalizing. There aren't so many people. There are people who I have heard saying like, "Oh man, no, there's no way that I'm going to pay for Battle for Azeroth, but I'm paying for WoW Classic, and they can't make me pay for Battle for Azeroth." I'm like, really? Because you are.
Because they kind of did,
Yeah, this was happening.
as it turns out.
Yeah, but that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let them believe what they want. Blizzard's getting, their pay to let them play, and that's how it works. So, yeah. So,
Yeah.
there is something that it is, I am actually very curious about. So, okay, Leeta, I know that you are very big into WoW challenges and the whole Iron Man challenge and pacifist and everything like that. And I know that with each expansion that you've had to evolve and change the rules and kind of tweak it here and there to make it actually completely work for the rule set for whatever's going on in WoW now.
Yeah.
So the big question, stop making that face, John. The big question that I have is what are you doing for Classic? Because it's inherently harder as it is. But are you going to kind of just the bare minimum of rules, since you don't have to worry so much about like artifact weapon buffs and other sort of required gear sets and things like that?
Well, unfortunately, it's all a bit up in the air at the moment. So it depends on Blizzard hasn't said if they're going to allow for the API to be tracked.
Mm-hmm.
So until Classic actually goes live, we don't know if we're going to be able to track it. If we can track it, sweet. Well, there's Iron Man. Like it's a given. It'll get stripped back to pretty much the original rules that was set back in, don't quote me, but I'm gonna say it's somewhere about 2012, I think. Criparian, I always get his name wrong.
Yeah.
When he did it back in what was it, getting to 80, where were we? Wrath.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll get stripped right back to the absolute, no talents, no specs, all of that. No green, no blue, no purples, no dying. The most important rule, no dying.
That one doesn't matter.
It'll, yeah. So the chunk of what the Iron Man challenge is won't change.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be really interesting to see, again, whether we can be able to track it. If we can't track it, doesn't matter. I'm still going to do,
Oh, yeah.
because once you're a diehard WoW challenge person, that's it. It's there's no ifs, buts, or maybes. So yeah, so we're kind of really hankering on Classic to be released to see exactly what's going to happen. But there will be some sort of challenge for certain within classic, and it's just going to depend. So, fingers crossed.
I'm with you on that. Not that I'm going to do it because that just sounds like suicide, but but
It's a
good luck.
special kind of person. Maybe
Well,
that's a nice way
especially
I
with
can say it.
yeah, especially with classic though, because as a lot of people are finding out in the beta, they forgot how difficult it can actually be. It's like, hey, a group of mobs is actually
Hmm.
very dangerous, which I think is actually pretty cool. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that goes.
I think that's the part of classic that I'm the most excited about is um, what other people are taking out of the experience, people who maybe didn't experience it the first time specifically. Like, it's going to be fun to watch people really come to terms with the way things used to work that, didn't
Hmm.
know about it. That's kind of where my interest lies. The people who are going back to it for the kick and the nostalgia, that's fine. I'm not trying to make, poo poo them, but like
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
not interested in that. I'm interested in seeing people that just don't know that this is the way that game used to play,
Mm.
and get that feeling for the first time of like, oh boy, this game really has changed and evolved a lot. you know, uh,
Yeah.
I was making the joke the other day to some friends of, if I played on Classic, I guess I would be an herbalist as a rogue, because that's what you got to do if you want to make poisons. You get your trade skill picked for you. It's not something that's
Hmm.
optional. I mean, you could go buy it, sure, but that's dumb. Like,
Why?
yeah, why would you do that?
Hmm.
So it's gonna be interesting. It's going to be funny to watch people go to, learn the level 2 fireball spell and go, I
Yeah.
don't have the 3 silver I need to get this.
Hmm. Yeah. I would say there's gonna be so many people that just have not grown up. Like for me, I don't know if to a degree that you guys would look at it this way, but I've grown up with it. I'm old, so bear with me when I say grow up. But it's
Not.
WoW has been a big part of the last 16 years of my life. And from that, it's gone through real life changes to in-game changes and all of that kind of stuff. But I still remember, like for a warlock, what do you have? What's your main thing for a warlock? Demons, yep. Soul shards. So carry the soul shards in your bag. Pet. When I got my first pet, I had to carry my pet and the mount in the bag.
Yes.
There was no pet tab. If I wanted that pet while I went into Molten Core to raid, I had to have that in my bag, which meant it took up a soul shard slot because I needed to walk into Molten Core with, like 2 bags, 3 bags full just of soul shard and all that kind of stuff. Looting stuff. You'll need to
Oh
loot
my God! There's no
every
auto loot.
single soul. Exactly.
Oh, thank you,
So,
Star Wars: The Old Republic, for creating that into the
yeah.
lexicon of MMOs.
Yeah, there'll
Oh
be no
man.
sparkly. Hey, here's something over here. Come, if you're mining and herbing, there's none of that. So it's going to be interesting because some people will be like either, oh my God, I've forgotten, this is so. But in a lot of aspects, for me, I'm kind of like, I remember when. So it's kind of cool that I get to remake Leeta. She's, like my warlock's gone through this 15, 16-year journey to get to where she is now in BFA and who she's fighting and the lore, that kind of stuff. But I kind of get to remake her, and it's still me and it's still Leeta, but it's like she's starting over to a degree. So I'm kind of really, yeah, really excited for that and
Well,
to
and
see
I also feel
what's going to happen.
like with how involved you are in WoW challenges, not to make an
Hmm.
assumption, but let me know if this is fair or not. That is a way to take your game experience and go, punish me more. Uh,
Yeah,
it
pretty much.
definitely takes a certain mindset.
Hmm.
For me, I see all of that and I go, no, we moved past this. It will surprise nobody who listens to this show to know that me, all those years ago, playing WoW Vanilla and playing through that game, even without a podcast to vent into, was sitting there going, now why the hell, if I do every single quest in the area and level up to a certain level, do I not earn enough money to buy the thing that they're giving me for hitting this level? That doesn't make any sense. This game makes no sense. I don't like this. I was doing that way back then, just like I am today. And so it's a case of just like, I don't want to go back to that. I spent all those years angrily shouting at the sky, change this, for a reason. And they did. And, you know, some of them have been like, oh, I had to be careful what I wished for, because it turns out I don't know if I like this so much. And some of them have been very much like, oh, thank goodness they changed this. And I'm not ready to go back. Those were victories along the road, and I want to continue to celebrate them, not wave a white flag over it.
Yeah, it turns out that the sky has people in it right now listening.
Yeah, they were like, oh, okay, you're right. We'll change it. And I was like,
good idea. Let's do that.
And then a little bit of time went by, and I was like, oh, no.
Well, hey, the one thing that worked, I think, to your benefit, like the most beneficial you complaining about something ever on the show was, man, grappling hook is the worst thing ever. And then they made it so great. And then they broke it again.
That's true, actually. I bitched and moaned so much about grappling hook for what felt like an eternity, because it felt like forever from the time we got to try that expansion to it coming out. And just every single day, better than grappling hook. Oh, man, the amount of belly aching I did. And then they made it great. And then the Mythic Dungeon Invitational, everybody's little precious baby, let's not talk bad about it, had to come along. And you know what, Ben? Here's the part that pisses me off the most. They still have a rogue problem in the Mythic Dungeon Invitational, because it's still the best class in the game. So they nerfed the grappling hook for no good reason, because they're still full of rogues.
Yep, all they're going to do is just stealth past everybody. That's what they do.
Great, now they're going to nerf my stealth. Now things just see you.
No, it's the group stealth. That's how they get past everybody. But, okay, so here's the thing. I just realized what WoW Classic actually is. So, you know, like all those movies about people like, oh, I wish I had known better. I'd go back to my, you know, I wish I knew then what I knew now. That's exactly this whole thing. That's what the situation is. I wish I knew when I started my very first character that, you know, I shouldn't buy gear on the auction house. Boom, guess what? I'm not going to be doing it this time. Or I wish I knew that I should have done these trade skills instead of the others. Boom, that's what I'm doing this time. So it's totally going to be like one of those things that you know exactly what you're doing. You're going to be doing everything that you possibly can. But the only problem is that every other person is doing it too.
It's the universal do-over switch. And,
Yeah.
you know, we're going to find out. I don't think there is a right or wrong answer, because I think everybody wants different things. But I think for a lot of people wishing to this genie, they're going to find out whether they got a good genie or an evil genie. Because I think for some people that are like, you know, I think there is a very, very small group of people that are mad about the current expansion and excited about WoW Classic out of spite.
Yeah.
And I think those people are in for the evil genie. I think a lot of those people are going to go in and go, well, I'm going to tell everybody I like this, but I think I'm going to just play something else. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are just like, ugh. Now, I think, like I said, I think that's a small group of people. I think for the most part, people know what they're getting into. And people, I think, are getting into it for the right reasons, whether that's, I'm excited about the game in the form that it used to be, I want to go back and see the world before all these changes existed, that was just more my type of MMO, I'm more into the community building, and I feel like that got lost along the way. Like, all these different reasons. I think for the most part, most of those people are going to get good genies. How long
Oh,
they
yeah.
stick with it, that'll be interesting too, because it's a game that is not going to move. So, at least as far as we know right now. So,
Yeah.
I know for some people that's a huge boon. Like, you know what? Yeah, this game takes 7 centuries compared to current World of Warcraft, but
Yeah.
it's also not going to have an expansion in a year that I have to be ready for, so I'll take my time. And I think that's cool too. If I theoretically made a character on Classic, I could check in once a year and be like, "This is your day. This is the one day I give to you," and
John's Day.
and that's fine. The only thing that will be interesting, and I can't speak to this because I'm broke in any incarnation of World of Warcraft, both literal ones and hypothetical ones, including hypothetical ones where I have money, I somehow still don't have it.
No.
But I am curious to see what happens to the economy with that.
Yeah.
Because that is one thing that they can do with an expansion is they can offer gold sinks to encourage the people who've been hoarding gold and accumulating over time. Here's a gold sink for you to spend that money and feed that money into. But what does that mean when that promise of an expansion and things to come isn't there? When I have the best of the best, it doesn't get better than this. I don't theoretically have to spend money on anything, and anything I do in this game just continues to accumulate wealth.
Well, let me tell you about something called the Iron Man Challenge. You have the best of the best, now have the worst of the worst in gear. I just mean gray items.
Gray
Yeah.
and white. Yep.
Yeah.
Stripping it right back.
And
It,
this is
it will be interesting. It will be
Yeah.
very interesting. But I think, it's a valid point in the fact that for some people, yes, they're going into it with, perhaps rose colored glasses. Other people are going into it because they don't like BFA as to what it is for them at the moment. So they kind of want to play WoW, but they're not happy with current. So they're, waiting for classic. And then I think there's those that have never been to vanilla as such, so they want to try it. And then you've got, I suppose, people like me that have been through it, but kind of, I'm like, I'm not going to put my full focus into it. I've got things that I want to do on a normal tune as well as to, do the challenges. So to make it interesting, because, when you're an alcoholic, this is the whole problem. When you're an alcoholic in a game, you're an alcoholic. It makes no difference. So, those many characters that I have in retail, yeah, I can see that eventually I'll have many characters in classic to a certain degree. How much time I'm going to give classic? I don't know. I'm kind of trying to put it down to one night a week.
Hey,
Somehow
if you're having fun, you can spend
Yeah, I
as
mean,
much
that's the
time
thing that
there as you
matters.
want.
Yeah.
The thing that I find the most interesting is that, I mean, there are plenty of people who like WoW now. I'm gonna make it stick. And
No, it's
obviously a
called.
lot-
You know what? Here's my resolution. I'm going to call it World of Warcraft. Because you know what? It's still World of Warcraft. It doesn't need an identifier. It's the same game that we were calling World of Warcraft a year ago, and the same game we were calling World of Warcraft the year before that. Nothing has changed. The only one that needs an identifier is World of Warcraft Classic. And if you say World of Warcraft without saying Classic, or don't say Classic, and you confuse someone, that's on you.
Anyways, I find it interesting because there are plenty of people that like WoW now.
World
but-
of Warcraft.
Yes, that's what the WoW stands for. So World of Warcraft now. And that's someone's game. In fact, there are probably people who are Battle for Azeroth babies. This is the first expansion they've ever played. WoW Classic is out there. That John, that's the one where they're taking what was vanilla and they're turning it
Oh
into
no, I
like
know
a new
exactly
version.
what WoW Classic is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
that's going to be like their version of World of Warcraft that they want. And it got me thinking that like there's always going to be people who hate whatever is current. There's always going to be people who love it. But that's happened with every single expansion at this point. You know, even though so many people cry out and say Wrath of the Lich King is the best expansion that there are people out there who hated it and quit the game during that.
Yep.
Which don't know why, because that's one of the best. There are people out there who say Pandaria is the worst. They're wrong.
Yep, just statistically, I looked at a piece of paper and they were all wrong, as it turns
Yeah.
out. I opened it and I was like, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and the paper just said they're wrong. I was like, okay, I can't argue with this paper. It came from a source.
I mean, you know, there are people who don't
the
like it.
same thing, though. You know, you're entitled. Anyone's entitled to their opinion. They're also entitled to be wrong about it, Ben. You know, so
Especially when it comes to Pandaria.
Exactly. So, you know, you say you're entitled, but you're wrong. That's fine.
We got a paper. It said. You know, it is funny, though, because I see the chat room saying BFA babies seem somewhat unlikely. You know what? We're going to hear from them in approximately 3 to 4 years. Let's say 4 to 5 years, when we're all shitting on this expansion and going, oh, we'll never go back to, you know, a friggin' Battle for Azeroth. Jeez, gag me. I'd rather eat a shoe than talk about that expansion ever again. And then we will get emails and passive-aggressive tweets going, actually, I think people need to like Battle for Azeroth more. It really did great things for the game.
Yeah.
And then you
Well,
go,
it's
which
like-
expansion did you start with? Battle for
Azeroth.
Azeroth.
Yeah. Well, it's like the people who are saying, you know, during the tail end of Warlords of Draenor, when we were so burnt out because we've been in that expansion with that one patch for like 2 years, and we're so tired of this. And people are like, I don't see what you're complaining about. This is really great content. And we're like, when we played it 2 years ago, it was. Yeah, I just came back from a break. This is the first I've done this, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm like, that's great. That's where we were 2 years ago.
That's gonna be me in 7 months on this show. I'm gonna be like, did you guys go to Mechagon? And you can... Yeah, John, we went to Mechagon. It was part of one of the biggest patches they've ever done. It was basically like its own expansion. And I'll be like, I'm just getting around to it. It's great. I don't know why people are so weird about this
You can't
expansion.
rush a good thing. Don't rush a good thing. You know, just because it might be 2 years down the track doesn't matter. It's all good. You know.
Yeah, I mean, if you just started leveling Warlords, you know, the day before Legion came out, it's great content. So,
See, I don't have that problem. I loved every expansion. I have favorites, but I don't have a problem with any expansions because I love what they give me. And I mean, admittedly, I'm not raiding, I'm not doing that. I'm also doing challenges and I keep myself busy, and I never have enough time to do everything that I want to get done. But for me, I love to play. I love to explore. I love to pet battle, collect pets, mounts, all of that. You know, explore through, and the quests, the lore, just discovering new things, and that to me is a lot of fun. So previous expansions, I know a lot of people hated Cata, or they hated, you know, what or whatever. It's just, for me, I've loved it all. Admittedly, I've been able to play challenges and alts and all of that, so I can change up the game. Instead of always playing my Warlock, I can change it up and see it from a different point of view, and to see it from not only Horde but from Alliance. So yeah, I just, you know, when people say, look, there's so many games out there. There is. Like when I started playing WoW, how many games was there?
2.
16 years ago.
Just
Just
two.
two
Not
games.
many?
There were two video games.
It was
Exactly.
World of Warcraft and
Pong.
That's it.
It was just Pong.
There's thousands now. So people get, I suppose they get expectations up here, and when it's not being met for them, they'll stop and go elsewhere. But for me, like, WoW's my game.
Mhm.
That's it. People say, "Oh, you're a gamer," and I go, "Well,
Yeah, kind
yeah, but
of.
technically I'm a game because I just play one game." Like, yeah, even out of everything that Blizzard gives us, and I love, I love Heroes, I love Overwatch, I love Hearthstone. I don't play
Mhm.
any of them because I got so many things I want to do in WoW.
Yeah. Well, and
So,
see that's the thing is like you. Well, first of all, I think that I can speak for John as well when I say that you are exactly the gamer that Blizzard wants. And
Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But see, the
mm,
thing is that you're enjoying all the different aspects of it, which that's. I know that there's a lot of people out there like that, but in a
mm,
sense, I would say that's a smaller, minority versus a lot of people who are just in it for PvP or just in it for
mm,
raids or something. And the fact
yeah.
that you're able to, really branch out and try different systems and, try different things and enjoy a lot of different aspects about it says a whole lot about the game itself and the fact that there are just so many different facets that, there is something that's enjoyable for everybody. Now,
Mm,
you're lucky that you have all the facets to play in. But for someone like John, who kind of stopped raiding, is really into the leveling and the story experience.
mm.
Sometimes,
No,
you know,
most of the time. Yeah, most of the
well,
time.
I mean, like current content right now and stuff, more story. Like you like the story, but you're not engaging with it in the game because the systems are kind of standing in the
Right. They
way.
the problem is
Mm.
they
Yeah.
lost me, and so now they're like, "Hey, there's more story," and I was like, "I don't care. You
Hmm.
lost me. You
Yeah.
lost me before I could get to this because you hit them all over the place. You were like, yeah, we're gonna put story here and
Yeah.
here and here. And I was like, I
Yeah.
can't find it, so now I don't care anymore.
Yeah. And it's
Mm,
like that's the aspect, or that's the part where people are getting to the point where, oh, I don't like this expansion or something, because they're not spread as far as they could be. Like I
mm.
remember when we were again going through Warlords and just really like beating the dead horse near the end. Like anyone who's actually going back and listening to all the episodes, which we do get people who say that sometimes. I'm
Yeah.
sorry during
Yeah.
Wrath that or not Wrath. I'm sorry during Warlords. We're sorry. That's all we can say. But
I don't know. We'll
um,
see. We'll see how Battle for Azeroth holds up. We'll see how much longer we
Mm,
have to.
I'm still really enjoying Battle for Azeroth though. That's the thing. But
Yeah, you're
mm,
playing. A problem is I haven't been playing in a long
yeah,
time.
but the thing is like I was saying though, we got a lot of emails from people saying, you know, and not in the hey, I enjoy a lot of different facets way, but more in a hey, you say there's nothing to do, but there's stuff to do. You need to do this right now, and we're just like, no,
Yeah.
it's like that's not how you play the game if it's not what you like,
mm,
and again, I love that all that is out there, and getting it to all work together and everything in this stage of the game. Again, hats off to Blizzard. They've done a great job. And on top of all that, it's so interesting that there's all this out there and they're still doing WoW Classic where it has like 90% less than what current WoW is, or WoW Now as I like to call it. But in Classic, it's like, level up and then you know what? There's gonna be like a couple of raids and stuff and whatever. There's an endpoint. You can win WoW, and then I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. Because there are big races to to be the first max level. There's big races to be world
mm,
first and everything like that. We know what's going to happen or what's out there. So what's going to happen when, say, the world first people who I saw in chat, I think it was Alessander who said that someone's saying that they're going to down Ragnaros within 2 weeks of Classic's launch. Which, if they do,
Okay.
holy crap, that's going to be a little crazy. But good luck.
mm.
Yeah,
But
sure.
like what happens at that point? Like, do they continue playing? Are they going to play for fun? Like, is it going to be the South Park episode where it's like, okay, now that we've killed him, what are we going to do? We're going to play the game now. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm curious to see what happens with that now too. I don't know. Heck, I just want to know what's going to happen with Battle for Azeroth and what's going on after this too. I mean, there's a
Mm.
couple different things that it's just we don't know.
Well, I suppose it's similar with all the high level raiders, really, that go so intense when an expansion comes out, and obviously with Classic coming out, that they're gonna do that same focus. For some of them that seem to then leave, like once they've done to be, I don't know, to be the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of go take a break. A lot seem to. Others seem to roll alts and then do stuff in a different thing. So it'll be interesting to see how that mindset for them will come across to classic, if they will do the same thing, or whether they'll take a different path and move on to a different game, or go back to retail and be like, okay, what else is there that we can really push through in, BFA and all of that kind of thing. So I think it's giving a lot of things for a lot of people. What it means for all of us individually is a different level of what we want and what we're going to enjoy. And I suppose that's the kind of the interesting thing. It is for some people. It's not going to be for some people, and that's okay. It's okay to not be into it, or start off and, oh, I love it, oh my god, this, I've got to pick up a freaking rabbit's foot off this one, and I got a rabbit's foot off and go and loot this one. Like,
I got my
that's
carrot on a stick. Woo!
exactly,
Carrot
I've
on
got to
a
spend
stick,
2 hours
man.
like doing that, so it will be intriguing to see how people's perception and how they feel about it. It's, and it's not a bad thing. So I think it's all going to be interesting. I suppose we'll know in about 3 days time. So
Mm-hmm. And in 4
yeah.
days' time, or 5 days' time, is when Ragnaros will die.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, it'll be interesting. I'm
Mm.
curious. I guess the thing that I'm most curious about is what happens when the servers start to get empty. Are they going to do
Mm-hmm.
server merges? What are they going to do? And look, this
Mm.
isn't me trying to doom and gloom WoW Classic. So before anybody's like, "Look at Job, he's getting mad about it again." I'm not. But here's the sad reality. We were talking about how the goalposts aren't going to move. And if they
Mm.
don't move, that means even the most die-hard, into it, love it all the time people are eventually going to get to the end of it. And their interest, for some, is going to wane. And that's not counting the people that are just dipping their toe in for fun, and the people who
Mm.
are just part of the hype machine, and the people that are there for nostalgia, and the people that are there maybe for friends who might disappear, and then they go, oh, well, my friends aren't here anymore, and they drop. There's a million different reasons why people might drop
Mm-hmm.
out of the game. What
Mm.
happens to these servers, which there are so many of them right now because they're hitting full because there's so much interest? What happens to
And
those
there's
when they
more.
start to become really unpopulated? Um,
Mm.
I'm curious to see how this evolves, where this goes, what they do with that.
As long as Bigglesworth is always around, we'll have a good WoW server to be on.
That's it, huh?
I don't know.
It's Well, it's interesting that I noticed when I woke up this morning that I saw the news that they were adding more service to both, US and EU. And for me, I don't know if you guys thought it, but when I saw it, I thought, wow, okay, perhaps this was the plan the whole long.
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard says, right, we've got, I don't know, say 30 servers. But hang on, we're only going to release 20 of them because we kind of want to see how people are going to play. Like, are they going to be into it or are they not? So then everyone's gone, I need to get my name. The servers become full. It's not even live yet. And then Blizzard's like, right, now we can do release this one and that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's that they would have looked at it like that? Or do you think they've underestimated the popularity of what they originally thought, like back in vanilla, when they thought, oh, there's only going to be, like a couple of some people playing WoW, which then ended up being, a couple of 100,000 people playing WoW.
Yeah.
So do you think it's a similarity from that, or do you think that they've kind of had it planned?
I think they definitely underestimated. I think a lot of us underestimated. I certainly did. I didn't think there was going to be this level of hype around it. I would be curious in an alternate reality where World of Warcraft was more compelling. How classic is received in a world where maybe, like you said, people are hungry for it and they're not liking what they're currently experiencing. You know, does that move the needle? I think even if it does, I don't think it. I think still the interest is higher than they would have expected, than I would have expected. Um, but I think no matter, even if they downplayed their estimate, I still think there is a world where in a year we're looking at what's going on with the servers on some of these servers. Like, and I could be underestimating them again. I will say, full disclaimer, I may be really downplaying what people continue to be interested in a year from now. But I would be very curious what the server situation is in a year.
My biggest wonder is how many of these people who are showing interest in everything were people who played in vanilla and maybe to Burning Crusade but stopped for whatever reason. And it's been 10, 12, 13 years and they just want to jump back in and see what it, and play the same old game. Like how many are of these are actually new subscribers instead of people who are playing, Battle for Azeroth?
That'd be interesting.
And that's their sole thing to play, because there were so many people who did play on the, what is it, Nostromo servers or whatever. I'm assuming that a good chunk of them are going to be playing Classic, assuming that that's actually what they wanted, as opposed to a screw the man, I'm going to play on a game that's not actually being run by them,
And I'm not paying for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's another thing. They do have to pay for this. So, yeah, I really am curious. I mean, if there's anybody out there who is listening to this who is actually someone who quit a long, long time ago and they're jumping back in just for Classic, a couple questions. One, why are you listening to the show? Because we don't talk about that.
What made you?
Really
What made you check the show out? We haven't been relevant to you.
It's definitely not the iTunes reviews. But
maybe ever. I don't know.
Why?
Yeah, but also, like, let me know what your thoughts are of coming back to WoW Classic, and like that's the game you're going to play with absolutely no interest in playing Battle for Azeroth or current WoW now or going forward, which would be WoW soon. Who knows? I would like to.
All right then.
Anyways, Leeta, thank you so much for joining us on the episode tonight. It has been an absolute treat and pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, guys. Look, it's been so good to catch up with you boys. It really has. It feels like forever, but it's nice to see you and to hear your voices again. So, thanks for having me on.
Definitely. We need to get you on more often. It's one of those things where, because of the time change, I'm always worried that I'm cutting into your Saturday too much. So I always feel bad asking.
It's all good. Look, I've as long as you don't expect me to do it early in the morning, because I got to bake. Like, priority is, as long as Leeta's done a baking, we're all good. So we've done the baking. Well, yeah, we've done the baking. So, it's like chill time, relax time. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
And because I'm pretty sure people are going to be asking, you're talking like cookies and cakes and stuff, not like...
Yeah.
Okay. Just making...
Yeah.
I mean, look, no judgment either way.
No. Both are acceptable.
Yeah, especially with the chill time afterwards. I get you.
I wouldn't want to interrupt anybody's baking time either way.
Well, it's been a lot of fun. It's like a different stress relief. When you log into a game, say like WoW, it is a good stress relief, because you can just go kill things instead of stabbing people at work. Because sometimes real life is like and then you can go like in game. So that's kind of cool. But baking is a different kind of like stress relieving type of thing. You just put everything into that baking soda to make sure that damn cupcake will rise. So sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But that's we're learning, we're getting there. So yeah.
That's good. Well, until next time we do have you on, where can people find you?
All right, so you can find me on Twitter. I am at Leeta Wow, which is LEETAWOW. As well as that, yeah, I do a couple other things. So, Wow Challenges podcast is probably the biggest thing. You can check us out at wowchallenges.com. And also, we have 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays, is when we do the live show at twitch.tv/wow challenges this week, which is tomorrow for me. So obviously I'm future girl, and it is Saturday today. And tomorrow, Sunday morning, we'll be doing episode 180, which is our 4th year anniversary.
That's
So very
awesome.
excited.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So super excited about that. And other than that, you can check out Adventure Nazareth and Behind the Avatar, which is a couple other things that I do. And other than that, pretty much Leeta, LEETA is, if you see that name, normally it's me or some derivative like Blood Leeta, Iron Leeta, Passy Leeta. That's probably me. So yeah,
I
come say
I
hi.
have seen quite a few Iron Leetas and Blood Leetas, I will say.
Yeah, I've been leveling. Well, we've got a contest. We've had a contest the last 2 weeks. So the contest ends tomorrow when the show starts. So we've had a very classic power word classic was the name of it.
Mhm.
So it's been a priest Iron Man leveling competition. And it's been very interesting how it's gone. I haven't looked at the stats today, so I'm not sure if the leader is still leading. Let me just say, so in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, because it's not over yet, let's just say that our leader hit 80.
Nice. As a priest,
So
that's
they've
tough.
Yeah, and priest is freaking hard as iron, I tell you. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. Holy macaroni. Do you want me to quickly tell you the stats? Because I
Oh
love
yeah.
looking at stats. Okay, so we've had 141 people register or 141 tunes register for the contest. Okay, our percentage of alive is 41.13%
Wow. That's actually higher
are
than I
alive.
thought.
It is
That's
higher than I
impressive.
thought. They're hanging in there.
So you said priest.
So
I'm like, great. Let's see if they get past 5. Who
Yeah, let's
knows?
get
yeah,
down to 10%
yeah,
numbers. Let's punish them.
yeah. So it's been really really an interesting one. So it's kind of, we stripped it back so we could do a competition that um basically we went to classic and went, well, what did we have in vanilla, and we had priest, and we stripped it back without having night off, but we took 2 horde, 2 alliance, and went from there. So
That's cool.
it's been an interesting contest. So yeah, so the winner, we'll find out who the winner is tomorrow. And yeah, other than that, as I said, just leader just about all places. So
All
yeah.
right. Very cool. Hey, John,
Hi, Ben.
where might people be able to find you if, they were looking?
Well, if you were looking, a good place to start would be on Twitter at John_Jagger. That's where you can find out what I'm up to. But I also do a couple of shows that you can find me on. The first being Core.
Core!
Now, that is a video game podcast I do, part of the Frog Pants Network. You can find out more about that at heroesforyou.com. Ben, we didn't do a show this week.
Oh, I know you had a meeting, though.
We had a meeting. But we didn't do a show, but we will be back next week. So if you
Okay.
want to hear me talk about video games, that's the place where we do it. I also play Dungeons and Dragons, another game that can vary greatly and sometimes be punishing and sometimes be rewarding. You can catch that at therewillbedungeons.com because the show is, of course, called There Will Be Dungeons. And that's a lot of fun. We're in a dungeon right now. And there's kind of a
Is there a
weird...
dragon?
Not yet. There could be.
Kinda.
Yeah, we have somebody who can turn into a dragon.
Yeah, so you're covering the dungeons and the dragons
yeah,
part.
we've got a shitty dragon everywhere we go.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. We are on a bit of a timetable, like not the typical one you would expect, like a narrative timetable, like were I to say, Ben, this podcast might self-destruct if we go over 5 more minutes.
Oh
That would be
no.
kind of a narrative one. No, this is a nature one because the baby Ferguson is due in somewhere in 2 to 3 weeks. So we're going to see where that goes and what we do in the meantime. But you can catch all those hijinks at therewillbedungeons.com.
Very cool.
Ben,
Yes, John.
it's your turn to do the thing.
Oh, that's a mighty fine intro. Thank you.
You know, I was proud of it. I wrote it down on
All right.
paper.
Well,
So I'd remember it.
on paper, huh?
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways.
Paper in my brain.
That's called mind paper, John.
Yep, that's what I meant. Mind paper.
Oh, there's a title for the show. Oh my.
Based on the what have you been doing part of the show, my God, did we not talk about anything all episode?
No, we talked about a bunch of stuff, but
The title
there's
came off of the where can people find you section of the show?
Well, you know, there's nothing like super catchy that was said, and just mind paper. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of funny, so I'm going with that.
I liked paper in the brain. I thought that's what I was
okay.
actually
We'll
thinking.
do paper in the
Because
brain.
it's kind of
Okay.
like, you know, it's like oh, what's the song? Insane in the Membrane.
Oh
That's,
yeah,
that as soon as you said that, that's what
perfect.
like went straight into my brain. So
I
was
want that
like,
to become a new expression, like what you were just doing when it's like, oh, I'm trying to think of a thing, I can't quite think of it. I'm sorry, I've just got paper in the brain right now.
Oh, see, I was going with I didn't write it down on the paper in my brain.
See, I mean, that's the as originally intended, but like
Yeah.
now that I'm picturing it like paper in the brain, I think of it like when they put the
Exactly.
paper in your shoes. You can't put on a shoe that's
Oh,
got paper
okay.
in the shoes.
Yeah, so you can't think when you have paper in the brain.
That's right.
Okay, cool. Paper in the brain. That's the episode. That's the episode title.
Okay.
All right, cool. And if now my stuff's just boring after all that. If you want to follow me, I'm on Twitter. I'm at Ben the Mage. I do a fun geek out episode about geeky things with Eludra called Box Fort. I'm also on a D&D show as well called Plus 5 to Hits, and I also talk about rules and fun and other stuff about Dungeons and Dragons on DN Discussions. So check all those out. I know you don't care because we just
No,
talked about paper in the
they
brain.
care because they don't have paper in the brain.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. This show, though, Azeroth Roundtable. Wait, did I say I'm at Ben the Mage or at Ben Bumhofer? Because I'm at Ben Bumhofer. I think I screwed that up because I got paper in the brain.
No, you
Ben
got
the
paper
Mage.
in the brain.
Dang it. God, you say it for like 3 years and then you just can't change it. Anyways, if you go to Ben the Mage, it'll say, hey, I changed my name to Ben Bumhofer. So, you know, do that instead. But this show, Azeroth Roundtable, you can find us on Twitter. We are at AzerothRT. And also, again, if you are one of those original players who's coming back just to play WoW Classic, email us. Let us know about that. Send those to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com. Or, you know, tweet us at AzerothRT. And, of course, all of our episodes are found on AzerothRoundtable.com as well as on iTunes, Spotify, and all those other fun places. And if you want to catch this insanity live, join us Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific most of the time.
If you like specific messages like that are clear and easy to follow, here's another one. Patreon.com/AzerothRT is a website you can go to help support the show. Well, lots of people have done it, and we appreciate all of them, but we always give a special shout out to the members of the Murloc Club. The current roster is Aaron, Birchcobber, Brandon O, Haster, Jesse O, Caleb M, Shane X, and Taryn. Thank you so much for being part of the Murloc Club. And if that wasn't clear enough, that address again, patreon.com/AzerothRT.
That's right. Chat room, you guys have been great. Leeta, again, thank you so much for joining us. John, happy slightly belated birthday.
Thank you.
And until next episode, everybody, be good to each other.